This is CNN Breaking News.
But let's get right to the breaking news right now. It's a disease as frightening as it is deadly, and the U.S. Agriculture Department has just announced that a case of mad cow disease has been confirmed in a dairy cow out in Central California. Let's bring in Lisa Sylvester. She's working this story for us. Lisa, first of all, what is the Department of Agriculture saying? What's going on?
Wolf, the USDA just released information within the last hour, and what we know right now is that it is a dairy cow from Central California that has tested positive for BSE, or commonly known or referred to as mad cow disease. And Wolf, this is only the fourth case ever detected in the United States. Normally, an animal contracts BSE from consuming contaminated feed, but this cow tested positive for atypical BSE. It's a very rare form of the disease, not generally associated with an animal consuming infected feed. And the USDA release states, quote, "The cow was never presented for slaughter for human consumption, so at no time presented a risk to the food supply or human health. Additionally, milk does not transmit BSE." So you can see there the USDA essentially trying to say that the food supply is not in jeopardy here. We also have received just a few moments ago a video press release from the USDA that they released onto YouTube explaining a little more.
The animal was a dairy cow.
I think we're having some audio issues there, but additional lab testing and information sharing is being done now with animal health labs in Canada and England. A little bit of background, the first case of BSE in the United States was detected back in 2003. That was a classical case, and it was detected in an animal that was imported from Canada in 2001. There were two other later cases, one in 2005 and 2006, where the animals in those cases, those two animals, really interesting, Wolf, they were over 10 years of age, and they also had this atypical BSE. Now, this fourth case, we don't know the origins. We're still getting information. It's still coming in, and we did get information from the RCAF USA, that's the Ranchers Cattlemen Action Legal Fund. They're very concerned about all of this. We also now have that soundbite that we were going to play for you a little earlier from the USDA. Again, this was a soundbite. This was a video news release that they have posted on YouTube. Let's take a listen.
The animal was a dairy cow from the state of California. Our laboratory confirmed the findings and also indicated it was an atypical form of BSE, which is a rare form of the disease. And it is not likely to be attributable to infected feed, which is the method in which normally BSE would be spread from cow to cow.
That was Dr. John Clifford from the USDA. Now, all of this is coming at a time when the USDA has recently proposed rulemaking that, according to RCAF, one of the industry, one of the Cattlemen's Growers Association, they're very concerned because they're saying that the USDA at this point is looking at relaxing protections, relaxing some of the testing at this time. Wolf. So
we don't know, Lisa, how this cow got this mad cow disease?
We don't. We don't know how the cow got the mad cow disease. And also, very interesting, Wolf, we don't know yet if this is a domestic cow or if this is a cow that was imported from someplace else. More of those details. We have a lot of calls out to the USDA. So hopefully within the next hour or so, we will have more information on this, Wolf, coming in.
All right, Lisa, stand by. I want to bring in our senior medical correspondent, Elizabeth Cohen. She's also working this story. First of all, Elizabeth, what are you picking up?
You know, what I'm picking up is that the government agencies that regulate regulate the animals and the CDC and whatever, they take this very seriously, and I'll tell you why, Wolf. I saw firsthand how dangerous it is if a human being consumes meat from an animal that has mad cow disease. I did a story many years ago with a woman named Charlene, who was the first person in the United States to get so-called mad cow disease. Now, it's important to point out, she caught it when she lived in England and then moved here without knowing that she was sick. She died a few months after I did a story with her. So this is a devastating neurological condition. If even one person ate U.S. meat and got sick from mad cow disease, it would just be devastating. That has not happened in this country. No one has gotten mad cow disease, or what we sort of just call mad cow disease. That's not the technical name. No human being has gotten mad cow disease from eating tainted U.S. meat. meat. Wolf?
But there have been cases outside of the United States where that has occurred, right?
Right. There have been cases outside the United States. For example, some 170 cases in the United Kingdom. And there have been 3 people in the United States who contracted the disease outside of the U.S., either in the UK or in Saudi Arabia, and then they moved here without knowing they were sick, and so they experienced the illness in the United States, but they didn't actually contract the illness in the United States. One of the scary things about this disease, Wolf, is that it takes about 15 years for a human being to show signs of this. So if a cow were to be tainted and someone were to eat that meat, they wouldn't really know it for 15 years, and of course by then it's too late to stop that meat from circulating in the food supply.
Yeah, it's a scary, scary subject. The USDA says they can safeguard to make sure cows don't get mad cow disease. So what happened here?
Right. The USDA does its best to safeguard mad cow disease from getting into cows in this country. And what they do is they look at the feed and they make sure that the feed isn't infected. The problem here, as Lisa Sylvester discussed, is that there's this new variant form of the disease which doesn't seem to come from the feed. The cow just gets mad cow disease. They call it a sporadic disease. They don't know how it happens. It's a real puzzle, and they're still trying to figure it out. And it's a much harder, of course, to keep those animals healthy because we don't know how they got sick in the first place.
And the bottom line, it's safe to eat meat. It's safe to drink milk. Is that right?
Right, that is the bottom line according to the USDA. This cow that's sick, it's one cow. It is not a cow that was ever going to be consumed. It's a dairy cow, and I'm told by experts that it appears that you cannot get mad cow disease from drinking the milk of an infected cow. That studies have shown the milk is not infectious, just the meat, and no one ever ate the meat of this one cow.
I know you're going to be working this story as well, Lisa Sylvester. Thanks to both of you. We'll have more on the breaking news coming up later. Meanwhile, let's go to the Supreme Court.